Welcome back to another installment of us reading Cry or Better Yet Beg. So, last time we read episodes 6 to 15, and it ended off with the Duke pulling up at Bill's place being like, "Hey yo, Layla, get me some flowers." And she was like, okay, sure. And then she pulls up with flowers, and he's like, "Do it again, but better." Picking up where we left off. Layla returns to Matthias with the flowers he's requested in, quote, less loud colors. Of course. But when he starts pulling a bunch of bullshit excuses to get her to stay longer, when she's done all his errands, he tells her to sit and have a sandwich, which he considers payment for her labor. Yeah, because of course. Layla, being extremely uncomfortable with the Duke and wanting to leave, politely declines, angry that she turns down his sandwich, but had eaten one with Kyle. He starts making a big ass stink out of her refusal. You're hearing that right. The 24-year-old Duke is getting pissy over an 18-year-old declining his sandwich while she'd accepted to eat one with her 18-year-old friends days or maybe even weeks ago. When I look at her, I'm reminded of the canary in my bedroom. How about you lick my nuts? I hate this guy! Oh my god, I hate him! My golden. Uh, Why do I do this to myself? There was no demand for me to continue. There was no demand. There was literally zero. Nobody is asking for these. Why do I do this to myself? I have a problem. Like, yes, it's on this comic, but also I could stop reading. There is nothing in it for me to continue but suffering. No, I'm not even gonna address it. We're just gonna look together, and then I'll scream a little bit, and then we could keep going. Sound good? Have some. There's only a meal. There's one plate. Oh my god, he keeps getting weirder by the second. My god, I hate this motherfucker. I hate him. I hate him. You don't understand how much I hate him. She's not his employee though. Like, she's just lives with Bill and like helps sometimes. But as far as I know, she's not. She's not the groundskeeper. She's not a groundskeeper. She just lives there. She's not your employee. Trying to find some really childish insults to replace the string of swear words I imagine when I see this guy. Also, his hand is the size of his face. 90s Yowie style. Have to put that out there. Tension mounts until the Duke steals her hat and decides not to return it until she eats. Oh, and he also compares her to a bird. Why? Because he's a freak. See, this is so weird, okay? It's like if you clocked in at work, your boss pulls up, takes your wallet with your ID, your money, everything, keeps it, and refuses to give it to you unless you do overtime that day. And then you can have it back. What? Like, do you realize how batshit this is? Like, this guy is off his gourd. He single handedly manages to, like, ruin the entire story, which is a little bit impressive. What is up with this panel? What is this panel? Why? What is this height difference? Why is his face like that? Your Grace! Like, what? What's next? Got your nose. Oh, bet you can get this. Ooh. Like, peekaboo. Like, stop. Stop. What is wrong with you? Don't tell me is he that butthurt about the goddamn sandwich? He sees like an 18-year-old as his competition for another 18-year-old. Get in your lane, bro. What? So he's throwing it out in the river. Because she said no to his sandwich, he's throwing her gift from her uncle into the river. Yeah, he's throwing it out because she didn't want to finish the sandwich. Mind you, she had some of it. She just couldn't bring herself to finish it. Wow. No, he's a piece of work. Using like kitty language so I don't unleash the string of swear words that come to mind whenever I see this guy. He dove from there. He dove in the river to skinny dip. You're telling me he dove from that freaking high up? What is he, an Olympic diver? That's wow. No, he's the worst. He might just take the cake for the worst character I've seen yet. Genuinely, like that's a pretty high fucking title to hold. This guy probably jerks off to her suffering. Like, due to trauma, Layla has a fear of water. Despite this, she cares deeply for the hat her uncles gifted her, so she decides to go in to get it. However, the water, which is initially just waist deep, quickly drops off into something of indeterminate depth, and Layla doesn't know how to swim. Matthias, who's watching from the second floor, knows about the sun drop. He also acknowledges that although she's visibly terrified, she insists on retrieving her hat. Let's play a little game. What do you think Matthias decides to do upon seeing someone drown? A. Stay still. She's making a big deal out of nothing. Let her swallow a couple gallons of water. This would have all been avoided if she'd just eaten the sandwich. B. Trips and dives naked from the second floor for the second time and saves her. C. Slowly makes his way down to help her, but lets her suffer a little first. D. He does nothing and gets upset when someone else saves her. How's she gonna learn her lesson now? E. Takes her out behind the barn and puts her out of her, and that would be too easy. And he just watched her. He didn't give her a warning or nothing. No. He wasn't like, I should probably let this girlie know. No. Okay. No. Bro is what? No way. No. This guy is willing to let her drown because she refused to eat his sandwich and he got butthurt about it. What do I say? What do I say? What do yeah? No, he's actually the worst. He's the worst. He's willing to let someone die and be traumatized because she didn't want to finish her sandwich with him. Wow, wow. No, that's what a fuss to make over something so simple. Says you. Says wow. I genuinely don't know how to convey these emotions. No, I think this takes the cake, though. I think this takes the cake, especially because it's not like the story is not framing him as a bad guy. Like, this is actual, like, dangerous logic. He does not respect consent even for a fucking sandwich. If he's willing to let you drown because you said no to eating a sandwich, imagine what he does when you say no to other things that are more meaningful than a sandwich. You know what I mean? I did not think the story would get so much worse so quickly after episode 15. Oh. Oh no, he's going? Holy shit, how deep is that water? That is a crazy drop off. What the hell? Also, this is just a prediction, but seeing as this comic goes on, most of my predictions are not too far off. Do we bet that he's wearing all white clothes on purpose because they knew he was going to get wet in that scene? Do we fucking bet? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I feel like it's not something to immediately dismiss. Okay, well, at least he didn't let her drown. That's good. Why did he let her go for so long? Also, he dove from the second floor. Like, we saw him when he was skinny dipping, which I'm referring to that scene a lot more than I thought I would have when I first saw it. Why did he take his sweet ass fucking time to get to her when she was drowning? But, oh, getting his pee-pee wet in the water. Oh, I can't wait. Gotta go in right now. Can't even put on swim trunks or do it in boxers. No. C is correct. Takes his sweet ass time. And after watching her drown for a few moments, runs slow-mo Baywatch lifeguard style to help her. If this doesn't show his lack of care for others, I don't know what will. On a scale from 1 to 10, -2. He didn't even warn her. He's just like, it's getting deep. I'd like to note that this is the only time in the comic we see him wearing all white. The one time he gets soaked with clothes on. Just, a little note you might enjoy. Do we see if my white clothes hypothesis is accurate? He's just always like looking into the camera. Who does that? He's just why? Why is he like breaking the fourth wall? You should be thanking me for. How about I thank you by waterboarding your ass? Since you like water so much. When Layla asks him why he is how he is, which, need I say more? We know how he is. There's a lot to say there. He reproaches her. And he says that the first thing she should have done after he saved her was thank him. He then proceeds to blame her for this whole series of events. I have never seen anyone care about a sandwich more than this guy, alright? How about you go for a little forever sleep with the fishies? As that's a suggestion. Just a suggestion. Just food for thought. Okay, now this is the skin of a killer billow. Wow. Does this count as the white shirt thing? I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Might make an IRL dartboard of this guy to throw darts at his ass. Do I own darts? No. Maybe it's time I invest. Comment down below if you want me to throw a dart at his ass for you. One like equals one leg equals one dart of. No. Hey, interactive. Like this video and I'll put a thumbtack on a cardboard printout of him. I just want him annihilated. If I was in control of nukes right now, this guy would not see tomorrow. Look, I don't try to censor swearing because people swear, but that was, and profanity is profanity, right? But Layla realizes she forgot her glasses when she left in a rush. When she returns to fetch them the next morning, they're gone. She notes 2 possible suspects. First, pros, who may have stolen them because they're nice and shiny. Second, the Duke, who may have stolen them because he is as unhinged as a bead door. Not wanting to see Matthias' ass. Get it? Because it's dookie. She decides to investigate the first possibility. Her and Kyle go through every single crow's nest they can find in search of her gogglers, but to no avail. Layla, to her dismay, accepts that the Duke must. Oh my god, they got the fucking. They got the, in the Smash character intro for a damn pigeon. Every one of these stories, they can't resist. Oh my god. Of course! Of course! I fucking hate his ass! I hate him! Gathering her courage, she decides to visit his guest house and ask him if he has them. Instead of returning them, he says something cryptic that strongly implies he's hid them. This is in hopes to get her to return and fetch them while he's away. Layla wastes no time. That evening, when Matthias is attending a fancy noble gathering, she sneaks into the guest house to recover her glasses. As mentioned, he had planned this, so he's just chilling in there when she pulls up. As we're blessed with Matthias's internal dialogue, this scene is especially disgusting. I just had a really bad thought, guys. This plus this, is he gonna is he actually just gonna like assault her? For real. I really hope not. I don't know what to say. I might genuinely be sick if they do decide to pull that move. I don't like the way that since she's in here, they keep like drawing her body through the dress. It's really grossing me out. Like it's really, really yucky. Who no? That's not helping with my fear of SA. I don't think I'm okay anymore. If he kisses her, I'm tweaking the fuck out. Also, that still counts as SA, by the way. Kissing people without consent is not okay. Oh, hell no! Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 bad story, story bad, 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 bad. My bad, my bad. Let me leave to throw the fuck up real quick. That's gross. And it's also not boding well for the SA. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're already bad. You don't need to be worse. You're already bad. You're already bad. Yeah, we don't need to make it worse. We don't need to make it worse. Fucking weird. Don't do it. 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 No, 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 no. Yes. Stop. Okay. Don't act on it. Don't act on it. Already fucking weird. Already so weird. Ah, get your gross, nasty hands off of her. Whew. Oh my, bro, my heart was about to, I was about to fucking puke out my heart, brother. This culminates in him touching her face, specifically lips, in a very weird manner and without consent. This leaves her feeling so disgusted that multiple panels are dedicated to her detailing her feelings. From then on, she does her utmost to avoid him, but since Matthias can't take no for an answer, he decides to, once again, use emotional manipulation to lure her to him. What if we just like, like what if we just like, whoop, hand slipped with a guillotine and we just like French Revolution him? Thoughts? Thoughts? Okay, so they did blur her vision this time. They're very inconsistent with it, though. Because, like, most of the time they don't even blur stuff. Like, him skinny dipping, is she, like, selectively Does she only see naked people without her glasses? Like, she's selectively farsighted? He kills a bunch of birds, knowing she'll come to bury them, so he gets to see her again. And when that does happen, not only does he mock her suggestion of not hunting like an indulgent murderer, he almost shoots her. Again. But this time, on purpose, he points his gun to her head and threatens her. And I know I've already yapped about this, but I'm still not over the fact that he does not keep the game. He just leaves shit he kills out and about. If it wasn't for Layla, the forest would literally smell like hell. Oh, okay. Now we're getting the confirmation. We're literally getting it in dialogue. If it couldn't be any clearer, now it's, yep. She was beautiful when she cried. So much he. Oh! Okay. Billy does look like he belongs in True Beauty when his hair's like that. He looks like the, what's his name? Sojin? No. No. Of course he blames her for his interest in her. That makes total sense. Anyways, Matthias, I have sent 237 fighter jets to your current location. Also, I gotta note, what is up with Claudine's sudden change in opinion on Layla? And, like, the subsequent invite to the party? She didn't care about Layla and didn't see her as a threat. We even got a whole dialogue between Claudine and Claudine's mom about this. Now, why the sudden change in opinion, bruh? We already have enough trouble with one noble trying to get to Layla. Like, got to damn, okay? First and foremost, I think we need to have a little chat about this guy. If this is his reaction to someone refusing to eat a sandwich, how does he react when someone denies him something a little more consequential? And you know what? His complete dismissal of Layla's opinion is such a common reoccurrence that she addresses it directly. Quote, after all, he doesn't care about my feelings at all, so saying no would be pointless. So saying no would be pointless? Hey, guys, what? Not to mention, like, on what basis is he bossing her around? She's not an employee of his. She's just the relative of one. It is on all fronts an abuse of power. He might be a duke, but like that doesn't make all that much sense still. You know, that's like if I pulled up and it was like, by the power bestowed upon me as prime minister, I order ye to sit. Like, no. The few things we do get to establish in these 10 episodes are not good. Let's just say that. Uh, right. Because we've got one, Matthias does not care about anyone but himself. Two, Matthias is fake AF. Three, he's a pervert who feels gratification, possibly even of the sexual kind, from Layla's emotional distress. Also, Layla's trauma's only brought up when it's convenient. Like her trauma like never comes up as a kid ever. Like it's just not brought up. Like when she's 18 and when it's convenient, we see it. Like I know storytelling wise, right? When it comes to storytelling, yes, you do use character traits as tools to progress the story. However, there's a difference between doing that and just only bringing up her trauma when it's convenient and not in times where it feels like bad, you know? It only comes up in very select moments and not others where it kind of feels like it should. You know what I mean? And if I didn't hate Matthias, well, it's this did it. He's got this one delightful line. even when she was a child, she would look down as if she had seen something she shouldn't have, to the point that it would irritate me. So she can't win. When she stands up and says no, he just ignores it entirely. When she's polite and plays along, because any reaction that's not the one he wants is denied, he says it gets on his nerves. Ugh! He feels entitled to everyone and touching them. He just keeps touching Layla, her hat, her stuff for no reason. Even when she says no, he ignores. He literally just ignores everything except what he wants. Again, there's just a lot of logical and grammatical mistakes, especially typos that feel like they shouldn't be there, considering this is kind of published by a really big company that, there certainly would have been multiple people seeing this. Like, there should be a translator, there should be an editor, you know, all of that stuff. So, like, if this was a one-person job, yes, but considering there's multiple people seeing this, and it's been out for a bit, I feel like it should not be there. Anyways, there's also this fun little tidbit where every time the Duke is interacting with anyone of nobility, that means the entire scene is just going to serve to glaze him. No one can do anything but sniff the warm, fresh farts right out of his rectum. Stop. Stop, okay? Like, I get that well perceived, and people would want to suck up to him for stuff, but at least his family, like, once in a while would say something to him that's not like, oh my god, you're so cool. Like, no. And there's this one scene where, on top of glazing him, they just keep talking about the bird. The bird, which we've established, is basically like a metaphor for Layla. And this whole like bird and Layla and him, and he's a hunter type metaphor, it reeks. I'm 14 and this is deep. Like, I get wanting motifs in your story, but this is not it, Chief. No. So, this is the second to last episode I'm going to be making on this comic. Hallelujah. Thanks for watching. Especially if you watched like all of my other videos on this comic and you're watching this one too. That's crazy. That's very nice. Very cool. Prevents me from suffering alone, which is the whole goal of these. Everyone who's read this bullshit we can have like a group trauma bonding session. This is a safe space for cry or better yet bag ranting. So pour your heart and soul out in the comments and we can like fraternize over our shared suffering. And remember, one like equals one dart through a cardboard cutout of Matthias.